Hi guys!
What's up, community?
So MarvelWockeez coming at you with our entry to LYTE105's 100 sub contest. So
Congrats, dude.
congratulations! Woo!
100 is a big number, so I'm sure you're going to keep it coming with the subscriptions, so keep it up.
And we actually already noticed that you have 200, so you're already getting there, and you'll probably be doing another video soon.
So we pretty much wanted to, do our entry, and, it's an awesome contest because it actually gives a lot of us people in the community a chance to explain, just exactly what he's looking for as far as how we started with the community, how we started with YouTube, what got us into collecting, and just pretty much getting to show our collection off. So it's pretty cool. So we're pretty glad to be able to be part of the contest. So
we are digging this contest. It's really cool that you're doing this. So and the prizes are like, wow, that's really impressive. So
yeah, we could really use a Deadpool for our ACBA, so that would be a definitely plus.
So yeah, we're gonna tell you a little bit. Since there's two of us, we'll try to keep it short. But we have his story, we have my story, and then our story when we join together. So we'll start with him because his is a little bit longer and he likes to talk. So go ahead.
Yes, I love to talk. So pretty much, like we've all collected, when we were young little kids because we all got into cartoons and what gets little kids more into the cartoons, selling toys to them, especially action figures for us boys. So, I mean, I guess I would say my first action figure probably was a Ninja Turtle because just Ninja Turtles were fucking awesome, and I mean, just they're so easy to come across in the store. I could tell my mom, "Hey, I want Ninja Turtles, Mom." Okay, this was just pretty easy. My mom would buy me everything Ninja Turtles, and then it would just grow from there and got into comic books and Power Rangers. So I mean, the sky's the limit when it comes to those figures. But and it's funny because we actually still have some of those figures from our childhood.
He has like all of them still. He's not gonna lie.
Thank Mom for the Tupperware.
See that shelf unit right there? That is full of Ninja Turtles and Space Jam and gargoyles up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then over here is the classic Power Rangers. So you gotta have those guys because even the flipping head action ones. So those have been, pretty much treasured and safely moved to each house in the Tupperware. So again, shout out to moms that actually care about their kids' toys.
And not the ones that give away all the toys when you move and stuff.
Yeah, definitely no garage sales with not too many of my toys. Maybe there's all the crappy broken toys. So, but yeah, pretty much with me, honestly, like a lot of us, when we got to teenager ages, we kind of grew out of it because you go into high school, you're supposed to grow up out of stuff. You change a little bit and you're doing a little bit more adult type things. So I would say I kind of lost touch with it. I still kept the stuff and was still obviously into it, but didn't have too many friends that were all like gung ho about it, saying, "Hey, yeah, I'm into comics too, and oh yeah, I collect figures and blah blah blah." So I would say my one good buddy that's actually a part of the community, Ennium Reg, we used to work together, and we would just click. We'd talk about stuff and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm into that too, and I collect these and blah blah blah." And he just kind of got me more into it because I was like, "Oh cool, I have a friend that's into it." So it's not not nothing I had to have to like be like, "Oh maybe I shouldn't collect stuff anymore because it's kind of childish." But yeah, that was pretty much my second win into collecting, and from there, that's when the legends were coming out. So we were pretty much like, "Oh, this is pretty sick. They're coming out with these figures at a good price. Walmart, Target, Toys R Us, everywhere, So we were like, yeah, let's collect these because why not? They're fucking badass figures, and we've already collected them before, and now we're having a whole freaking series that we can collect. Then pretty much, it's gonna be Nika's turn now to show her childhood.
So, I guess the thing that's weird for me is that I'm a girl, and as we all know, there are not a lot of us in the community. And yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, I was always a tomboy. I grew up, I loved Ninja Turtles, like, oh my gosh. That girl that was on Facebook, there was a crazy Facebook thing about a chick that had a room full of Ninja Turtles. I was almost like that pretty much when I was a kid. You couldn't separate me from them. And that kind of ostracized me a little bit from other girls, of course, because I wasn't into Barbie. I wasn't into all these little, like, girly stuff. I was always into action figures. I liked Batman. I liked the X-Men, all that stuff. Grew up with it as a kid, and always got along better with boys just because they were the only ones that were into comic books like I was, and I had knowledge in comics that girls just didn't have. So it was always awkward for me, and I didn't always come out and tell people that I was really, like, into the comics and everything like that. So I kind of became more of an artist, and that sort of made it easier for me to tell people, oh, I like comic books because I like to draw it. So it was like an excuse to be into comic books because of the art. And so I have a lot of paintings, which I'll probably show in another video at some point. But then I met Joey, and it was crazy because I helped him move, and he had like all these toys that I used to have when I was a kid, but kind of got lost over the years. It got stolen or sold at garage sales and all that. So it was like a blast from my past. I swear this kid's the kid that bought all the stuff that was sold at garage sales because he had every toy. And I don't know, we just like were inseparable. And so we both, hit it off so well, and we've been together. And then, of course, Inium Reg, he kind of got us geared towards the community and YouTube because he's been doing all these videos and he customizes a lot. We got into customizing with him quite a bit, and it was just really cool because he kind of started showing us this community, and we're like, oh my gosh, what, there's all these people that are into this like we are. We're not the only ones. And it's a small group, when you consider us to like the overall population, but it's a group of people who all have the same ideas, and we don't have to feel so weird because if we all get excited about a figure, or we're all mad because, oh, this figure has a bent leg, oh, well, blow dry and stick in some cold water, this is all stuff that like we're all stoked when we find out, and we're like, it's a community for a reason, and it's funny because we're now a part of the tournament, like and thanks, big shout out to people like Book Nice. Other inspirations to us are Slings of Web, Webhead X. Gosh, I can't even name like all the people that have inspired us. Configure, Collected Con, Solid Snake, Any Emerge Again. Tie figures, like, oh my gosh, the list goes on and on and on. Every single person who's like been a part of the whole ACBA tournament, all of that stuff. So now that it's an art, like I find myself bragging about the tournament at work. Like, oh, you guys, I'm in this tournament and it's crazy. I have all these action figures, and I tell everybody. It's like I'm proud of what we do, So that's why it means so much to us, is that we have this community, we have this group of people that all are like-minded, and, we all want to fit in. Like, deep down inside, we all, like, pretend like we don't give a crap what people think and stuff, but in the end, we kind of want to have a place where we belong, and the coolest part about this community is that we get that sense of belonging, so, where you don't have to be that closet nerd that lives in your parents' basement that spends every ounce of what you make on action figures, You can be a family man who has kids. You can be a boyfriend and a girlfriend who are into it together. You can be someone who has connections with the toy companies themselves and, makes a voice and affects the toys that come out because the group of us together have such a strong voice. So that in the end is kind of what makes it mean so much to us.
Well, another thing too is we pretty much started the community together. We decided we didn't want to just do like, oh, I have my own page, you have your own page, we'll just do our own YouTubes and stuff. Again, this is a mutual thing that we both like, so it's a pretty different thing. That's awesome. It's something that it's not like you can't find this. It's, we both love it as equally, and it's fun to be excited with another person, but also to share with other friends, and again the community. It's just a big group of friends that all have the same passion. We just decided that we wanted to do something a little bit different, so that's why we kind of wear the mask. It's just kind of like a superhero thing as far as an identity. It gives you some mystery, some who is that behind the mask.
It's also iconic, so when you see our masks, you know who we are. We don't have to question it. It's like, oh, there's the MarvelWockeez, and we also love music too. So if you guys know who the America's Best Dance Crew is, It's the Jabberwockeez, so
That's
kind
our
of our little homage to them because we love them so much and we love comics so much. So MarvelWockeez, hello.
Yep, pretty much our inspiration behind that was just to collaborate, two different passions and make it, something unique to us, something that, spells us. My nickname is Joey Waukee. I was given that from my friends, so it's kind of cool because it can sound like a superhero name, but it's also a tie-in on my name, and it makes me stand out because there's all these different Joeys, but I'm the only Joey Waukee, so it's pretty cool about that. And as a group, me and me and Nika, we are the MarvelWockeez, so even better because it's just a fun thing to just share that with people and make a name for ourselves. And yeah, again with the ACBA thing, it's like we've been collecting, we've been displaying and doing all that stuff before, and now it's great that ACBA actually has a name. Boogie's pretty much made it like a freaking
It's an
like
art form.
yeah.
Being an artist myself, it's a whole new expression. And in this particular art form, you don't have to know how to draw. You don't have to know how to paint. You don't have to have years of training or anything. You can come to the community. Everybody helps everybody out. We're all supportive, and I love the commitment to the younger generation. Like even LYTE105, the fact that you have a juniors version of this and then you have a seniors, which we're senior, by the way, just for that. I know we have to say that. But just the fact that Boog has the FPS drawing, and then you guys have this, like, inspire kids to love their superheroes again. I work at the gaming department in a Best Buy store, and it's funny when kids tell me they don't know who Batman is. Like, that is sacrilegious to me. Like, kids should know who superheroes are. Kids should love them, and kids shouldn't feel like they have to grow out of it because it's not cool. I love that we're all making it cool, and it's just a cool thing. This community is just so helpful on so many ways. So
And well, another thing is just nice to be able to share your collection with people that actually care because we always share with our friends and we always get the oohs and ahs like a museum factor. And we're
they're
like,
just
oh,
more than anything shocked at the room and the way
yeah,
that it is its own room. They're just like, what? You
yeah,
have figures that take up a whole room? That's crazy.
but it's a fun thing too, and they get a kick out of it. But there's those of us that are like, oh, it's cool that you have these figures and like you have a whole collection. Like it's not just like a little shelf of just these figures that you like. So I mean, it's just again cool to show this with everybody, and it's always great to keep adding to them. Especially the new Marvel Legends coming out. So it's great that they keep kind of feeding us as collectors, and keep kind of giving us what we want and ask for. So hopefully it just keeps getting better with that regard. And we're gonna need a bigger room soon because
Yeah.
of that. So,
But also, the biggest part that really speaks to me is just the fact that, we can share this with each other and then talk about stuff and be all excited about it, and no one here criticizes anybody about being excited about it. Like, we're all stoked about this wave, and we can have arguments on Facebook for days about, oh, we didn't get wave 1 or wave 2 or who has this one or who has that one, or oh, this figure's crappy, the paint job looks like crap, blah blah blah, or oh, I'm so stoked this character's comes out. Like, we can have these insane conversations, and not one of us feels weird or awkward about it. Whereas we're talking to people at work or something, and they're just like, what are you talking about? And then you just feel like, okay, woo, I'm on another planet. But here, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like home. It feels like everybody's friends. We all have something awesome in common, and it literally has it's limitless because you have figures for everything you can imagine. There's Freddy Krueger figures. Huh.
well, and lastly, it's just like it's great to see that people are knowledgeable. I mean, they know a lot of stuff, so people will all have these different talents, and people get to show them, and people get to teach, and some people learn stuff from it. So it's like it's just a unison thing where everybody's giving back to the community, and it's great that you're doing this light because it inspires us. So we like to give to the community, and just be doing stuff and make people look forward to stuff, make the younger generation be inspired and grow up to be like us. Make sure it's not a dying breed.
Hey, the kids of today are the creators of Marvel comics in the future.
Yep.
So, if we keep that healthy in them, we'll have really creative stuff going on in the future when they grow up and they get a career in this field and whatnot. So, We just want to leave with a note that just says, congratulations, LYTE. Everybody, it's awesome that you got so many subs, and we just hope you keep getting them. We hope you get a lot of views, and that you're successful. Maybe YouTube will start paying you for your hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's our video, guys.
And lastly, see the ACBA logo, keep repping it. Everybody that doesn't have, any apparel yet, definitely get some for Boog. Get into.
Boog, nice.
You don't have to be into the competitions. Just show your art with the figures. Display what you love. Just again showing art and showing our hobbies at its best. Not just sticking all to shelves and stuff without just falling down domino style.
Worst thing ever. Alright, guys. We are out of here.
Peace out.